Hello everyone. So this is the level 2 assignments of the first chapter. The first question is the total number of injective functions means 1 functions. From a set of m elements to the set having n elements where m is greater than n. The situation is this: m n. So 1 function is not possible at all. No 1 function, that is 0 1 functions. Is it clear? That means this is possible, this is not possible, and he is asking which is not equals to. That means option B, C and D must be correct. Or else he may ask in this way. This is one question. He may ask the question in the same way. If he gives m is less than n, then what is the situation? 1 is possible. Is it clear? How many 1 functions you can find? It is n factorial by n minus m factorial. That means option B is correct. If he says m is less than n, the question is, if he asks in this way, m is less than n and which is equals to, thus 1 functions are equals to, then option B is correct. Is it clear? Which of the following set is uncountable? See, q cross q is countable, being a Cartesian product of countable sets. This also z is countable and z is countable, so z cross z is countable. 1 by n is countable, because whenever you have a natural number, for every natural number you are just finding 1 by n, and 1 by n is defined for all n because n is not equals to 0. So just it's nothing but the game is likewise here. Whenever n is there, you just go into 1 by n. Here you have 2, just take 1 by 2. So for every member you can find a number who is inverted. So you can always think about a 1 1 and onto function. This is also countable, but this is not countable because this is uncountable minus countable. In the uncountable, if you remove countable, still it will be uncountable. So this is uncountable. See, this is, let a is equals to open closed interval 0 comma 1 and b is equals to closed interval 2 comma 4. Then what is the situation? First, before attempting all these things, first find, we want infimum, supremum. So first find what is infimum and supremum of all this. So what is infimum of A and supremum of A? Infimum of A is 0, supremum of A is 1, infimum of B is 2, supremum of B is 4. Then what is infimum of A minus B? Just take this. So infimum of A minus B is infimum of A minus supremum of B. Once you take the minus, it will change. Infimum of A minus supremum of B. What is infimum of A? 0. What is supremum of B? Minus 4. So it is minus 4. That means this option is wrong. Where the correct option is? Somewhere here I am getting. So I will just straight away go into this option C. What is supremum of A minus B? It is supremum of A minus infimum of B. What is supremum of A? It is 1. What is infimum of B? It is minus 2. That means it is 1. That means 1 minus, it is minus 1. So this option is correct. This idea is clear. So single options are correct. I will just straight away go into this. But here the first question was many options were correct. Now again here, in NET 2012 it had asked the number root 2 into e to the power I pi. What is e to the power ix? It is cos x plus I sin x. What is e to the power I pi? It is cos pi plus I sin pi. Sin into any pi is 0. Cos into odd pi will be minus 1. Is it clear? So this value is minus 1. Cos into even pi will be plus 1. So that means it is nothing but minus 1. So root 2 into minus 1. So it is minus root 2. Root 2 already we know it's an irrational. So minus of root 2 is irrational. Just stick it. simple questions will be asked, so we need to concentrate, that's all. Yeah, next question is, let S be the open interval, closed interval 0 1 and minus some set. The set of limit points of the set is, it's finite, countable, infinite, uncountable, empty. So we need to think about the set of limit points. What will be the limit points for this? See this example, he had given, let me look to the set, how does it will look like. See, open interval 0 comma 1 is given, closed interval 0 comma 1 is given. In that he is trying, you need to omit 1 by n such things. If n is equals to 1, 1 is left. For n is equals to 2, 1 by 2 is left. For n is equals to 3, 1 by 3 is left. How does this will look like? See, it looks like this. This is left, that is 1 is left. 1 by 2 is left. 1 by 3 is left. 1 by 4 is left. 1 by 5 is left. Likewise, once you approach near 0, so this is, let me say, 0. Here there will be many points left out. That means up to here your set is there, up to here your set is there. That means if you just stand at this point and try to think about the limit points, every point is a limit point here. I am not considering all this, just consider the gap between half and 1. Half is not there, 1 is not there, that's fine. How about this? Up to here you have, how many limit points are there? Infinitely many. That means it's uncountable. Is it clear? Sixth example, it's asked in NET 2011, that you need to be careful. See here, the set 1 by n, sin 1 by n. Sometimes they will ask one limit point, it attains its limit point. Those things we will discuss while discussing some problems on sequences and series. So the set 1 by n, sin 1 by n, where n is a natural number. What is the limit point? See, this is an sequence that converges to 0. Such sequences that converges to 0 are called null sequences. And this is a bounded sequence. Sin 1 by n is a bounded sequence. Whenever you have a sequence xn that converges to 0 and yn which is bounded, then xn yn will converge to 0. So this, it converges to 0 and it has one limit point. Is it clear? That's what. It attains its limit point. So it has one limit point and it is equals to 0. Next is, in the National Board of Higher Mathematics, a question is asked. Pick out the true statements. If A and B are closed set, then A plus B is whether is closed. Then the next question is, if A is an open set and B is a closed set, what can you say about A plus B, whether it is an open set? If A and B are compacts, then what can you say about A plus B? The first is, if A and B are closed, then what can you say about A plus B, whether it is closed? See, for the instant you can think about A is Z and B is some root P into Z, where P is prime. So this A is a closed set and B is also a closed set. Now what is A plus B? It is Z plus root P Z. That means it contains A plus root P into B, where A and B are integers. And root P, being it is an irrational, it's an irrational number, and it contains rationals are also, because the closure of, or else the limit points of irrational is real. That means it contains rationals also. But rationals are not in this set. A. If A and B are closed, A plus B need not be closed. This idea is clear. A is an closed set and B is an closed, or else just think about the result. Sum of two closed sets need not be closed. It's not possible always. First result. Second result is if A is an open set and B is a closed set, then A plus B is an open set. This is always possible. We already looked into the result. Okay. You can refer Apostol for this. This proof is given. If A is an open set and B is a closed set, then A plus B is an open set. That means we will consider the first set. That's what we had discussed. If A and B are compact, so is A plus B. You can define a map. If A and B are compact, you can show A plus B is compact. Is it clear? You can define a map. A cross B to A plus B. And if A and B are compact, their product is compact, then again you can define a continuous map from A cross B to A plus B. So this is also a continuous image of a compact set is compact. That means A plus B will be compact. This idea is clear. So you can always think about a continuous map from the compact set. Since continuous image of this is compact, and we know the result continuous image of a compact set is compact, in the sense if F from A to B is there, if F is continuous and A is compact, then F of A, the image, will be compact. You can define F of x comma y equals to x plus y for this, and this is being a polynomial, it's continuous. And what is the range? Range is A plus B, where is an element of A and y is an element of B, so range will be A plus B. That means F of A is B, that is here the range is A plus B. That is F of A cross B, it is nothing but range of this function. Range is nothing but, I am telling, you are taking x plus y, where x is an element of A and y is an element of B, so it is A plus B. So this is continuous and this is compact, so continuous image of a compact set is compact, that is A plus B is compact. Whenever A and B are compact, their sum is compact, but whenever A and B are closed, its sum need not be closed. That's where the beauty lies. That means this option is wrong and this is correct and this is correct. So option B and C are correct. So this concludes the level 2 assignments. If you have any doubts, you can just post it. We will try to solve your queries. Thank you.